Welcome back. It's time to hear from both sides on the top political issues in a segment we call Sides.
Indeed. For the right, Republican strategist Bob Clegg. Hi, Bob. And from the left, Democratic strategist Dale Butland. Hey, Dale.
Hey, Jim.
Rules for the segment simple. Put 15 seconds on the clock. Get to the segments and have you to the topics and have you battle them out.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
First question goes to Dale. John Kasich met with Sheldon Adelson in Vegas. Campaign cash headed our way?
Yeah, Adelson and Kasich have a lot in common. They're both right-wing Republicans. Apparently, they both use the same hairstyles. And they both believe in government of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich. These two guys are made for each other.
Hey, everybody has a freedom of speech in this country, Dale, unfortunately for you. So he's just meeting a guy who is interested in government and interested in good economic policy. So I could see those two having a lot in common.
All right, Bob. Congressman Tim Ryan arrested, but the charges dropped for public intoxication. Will this play a factor in his decision to run for governor?
Well, if he was seriously running for governor, maybe, but I don't think he is. And let's not forget, this is the district that elected and re-elected Jim Traficant a number of times. I don't think a drunk and disorderly will bother those people very much at all.
When Tim Ryan was arrested, he was walking down the street, not driving a car. The arrest was a complete crock, as the courts demonstrated by dropping the charges. And before Governor Kasich and his supporters try to make hay of this, let me remind you, Bob, Tim Ryan never called the arresting officer an idiot.
All right.
Yes. Dale.
You guys are going so quick, the clock can't even keep up.
Right. Let's move on to drug test for welfare. Dale, will Ohio move in this direction?
Yeah. This bill that was just is so stupid. The only people that will be tested are people dumb enough to answer yes if they're asked if they abuse drugs. Not even state legislators are that stupid. But let's find out. Instead of giving a drug test, let's give the state legislators, make them pass an IQ test.
Hey, you know, they're testing people now for jobs, if they smoke or not even, let alone drugs. I think we're looking at a situation where these are people that are obviously receiving government funding. In many, if not most of these situations, we have young children in the homes, so I think that's what they're going after.
Bob, A through F grading system, we talked about that with the speaker a few seconds ago. For schools in Ohio, will that pass the test?
I agree with the speaker. They've been inflated. We've seen here in Columbus with the school district and how they tried to get around a lot of the parts on attendance and all of that. I think the school board needs to start from scratch. We got to have a real hardcore system here to judge our schools.
You know, I'm all for higher standards, but when the state of Massachusetts passed higher standards back in the 90s, they increased school funding by $2 billion. In Ohio, we're increasing standards, but we're cutting funding by $2 billion. That's like saying we want lower crime rates, and we'll get there by cutting law enforcement budgets and laying off police officers.
All right, Dale Kasich is heading to the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. As Ohio goes, so goes the planet.
Yeah, it's a prestigious forum. I wish him well there. He says he wants to give a major speech when he's there. I got a little advice. If you give a major speech in Davos, use a teleprompter and don't ad-lib about wackadoodles and people who have Parkinson's disease.
Dale, I thought you would just be thankful that he would even want to go to this kind of a forum. I think that he just wants to exchange some ideas with some of the people there. I think he has a good economic record that could be shared. I mean, you look at the situation in Europe right now, and I think they could take some things about getting rid of your deficits and not raising taxes.
All right, Bob, Senator Jim DeMint quits the Senate, the beginning of the end of the Tea Party era?
No, I think this is Jim DeMint being Jim DeMint. I mean, he doesn't believe in legislators being there long. He left the House to run for the Senate. He believes in term limits. I think it's getting a little frustrating, you know, for a lot of these guys in Congress, and a lot of them are just getting tired of it.
Two reasons Jim DeMint left the Senate. First, the Republican caucus in the Senate's apparently not conservative enough for him. And second, even more important, he's getting $1 million a year to run the Heritage Foundation. So like his pal Sarah Palin, he quit his term, he quit midterm, took the money instead.
All right, Dale, Bob, thank you as always.
And you can join this conversation.